They talk, they judge, they whisper. But the Stoic stands still. In a world addicted to validation, where everyone wants to be liked, followed, retweeted, the man of virtue remains unmoved. Criticism today is louder than ever. It comes not just from friends or family, but from strangers on the internet. People who don't know your story but feel entitled to define it. And when you're constantly exposed to opinions, how do you stay grounded? The answer is not in fighting back. It's in stepping back. Stoicism teaches us this powerful truth. You are not what they say. You are what you choose to be. This podcast is for those who have felt misunderstood, judged, or rejected, yet want to walk with dignity, not defensiveness. We'll explore 6 timeless lessons from the Stoics on how to rise above criticism without losing your peace or your path. Because the goal is not to silence the world, it's to quiet the storm within. Let's begin. Part 1. Detach your worth from others' words. The first rule of Stoicism in dealing with criticism is simple. Your worth is not up for debate. When someone criticizes you, it feels personal. But often, it's more about them than it is about you. Their projections, their pain, their ego, tossed in your direction. The Stoic response? Detach. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You don't control what others say, but you control whether you let it shape you. Ask yourself, is this feedback useful, or is it noise? Am I reacting out of ego, or responding from clarity? Criticism is only a wound if you pick it up and press it into your skin." The Stoic learns to pause, to breathe, to choose. Because the moment you let someone's opinion define your mood, you give them power they never earned. So, listen with discernment, but stay rooted in your own values. Don't get pulled by every comment or praise. Anchor yourself. You are not a puppet of public opinion. You are a steady flame in the storm. Part 2. Know who you are and what you stand for. If you don't define yourself, others will. When you lack clarity about your values, you become a sponge for every opinion thrown your way. You absorb praise too deeply, and you absorb criticism too easily. That's why the Stoic invests time in self-knowing. Who are you without applause? What do you believe when no one agrees? Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Criticism hits the hardest when you're drifting. But when you know your direction, people's opinions become background noise. You're not here to impress. You're here to express. So sit with yourself. Journal. Reflect. Clarify. What are my principles? What kind of person do I want to be under pressure? What behaviors align with my values? The clearer you are inside, the quieter the outside becomes. Criticism doesn't destabilize a person who's deeply rooted in their truth. So, root deep. Know yourself. Not as a reaction to others, but as a deliberate design of your own values. Because once you do, what they say can't shake you. Part 3. Embrace criticism as a teacher, not a threat. Most people fear criticism because they confuse it with rejection. But for the Stoic, feedback, even harsh, is potential fuel for growth. Epictetus said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" That's humility. That's power. Criticism can hurt, but it can also heal. if you listen without ego, if you extract the truth without personalizing the tone, ask, is there even 5% truth here? What can this teach me? You don't have to agree with how it's delivered, but don't throw away the lesson just because the packaging is ugly. To grow, you must hear things you don't want to hear. So instead of defending, try digesting. Instead of attacking back, ask deeper questions. The Stoic isn't offended by hard truths. He seeks them. Because iron sharpens iron, and the unexamined life stays small. Let every criticism, useful or not, make you clearer, calmer, and closer to who you were meant to become. Part 4. Never argue with a loud ego. Not every opinion deserves a reply. Not every attack deserves your energy. Some criticism is just noise, ego clashing with ego. And the Stoic, he doesn't step into every ring. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. So someone insults you, belittles you, questions your motives. You have a choice. React and descend to their level, or rise by refusing the invitation to chaos. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. It says, I see your fire, but I will not let it burn me. When the world gets loud, go still. When critics bark, speak less, because in a room full of noise, the quiet voice holds the most power. True strength isn't loud. It's composed. It doesn't defend itself to every accusation. It lets time and action speak. So let them talk. Let your peace disturb them. Part 5. Stay loyal to your inner standard. There's only one person you must answer to at the end of the day. Yourself. Not your boss, not the critics, not the strangers online, just the man in the mirror. The Stoic lives by internal standards, not shifting applause. You do the right thing, not for praise, but because it's right. You speak truth, not for validation, but because you value truth. Seneca said, a good character, when established, is not easily overthrown. Build that character. Brick by brick, in silence, in solitude, in moments no one claps for. That's where real strength grows. And when the criticism comes, you'll know. I did what aligned with my values. I acted with integrity. I lived my truth. That's enough. Because peace is not found in being liked. It's found in being consistent with your conscience. Part 6. Let time judge, not emotion. The Stoic doesn't seek to win the argument today. He seeks to win respect over time. Emotion demands a quick response. Wisdom waits. So when criticized, mocked, or misunderstood, pause. Let time speak. Let action echo. You don't need to prove yourself in the heat of the moment. You need to live in a way that over months and years proves your principles. As Marcus Aurelius said, time is a river of passing events, and strong is the man who stands steady on its banks. Stand steady. Let your work unfold. Let your integrity shine through consistency. Reputation built through time always outlasts opinions shaped in seconds. So choose the long path, the patient path, the grounded path. Because in the end, people forget what you said, but they remember how you lived. And that is the most stoic response of all. Criticism is a part of life, but being shaken by it is optional. The Stoics taught us to stand firm, not coldly, but courageously, with hearts open, but egos in check. You don't have to defend every comment. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You just have to know who you are and act from that place every single day. If today's episode helped clarify that path for you, I invite you to keep walking with us. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with what part resonated most. And remember, what they say fades. How you live lasts. Stay grounded. Stay true. Stay unshaken.